What's up, I Like Scary? We are back. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having an awesome day. It feels great to be a horror fan. So you guys, today we're going to talk about some Halloween ends, theories, and speculations, you guys, that's out there. Shout out to you guys for, showing me these theories and everything and wanting me to touch on them. So it's a theory out there, you guys, that they're saying that Corey Cunningham's father is Nick Castle. And this is deep, and I really love this theory. So this theory is basically going like this. So Corey Cunningham, if you read the synopsis in the plot, he's been accused of killing someone he's babysat. And his father is Nick Castle, and now the town of Haddonfield hates Corey. They think, they're tired of this. They're already dealing with Myers and stuff like that. They done dealt with him and everything, and they don't want to deal with another Myers, so they hate this Corey kid, right? So what I'm saying is this, you guys. Say if, this will kind of explain a 4-year time jump in a way. It will, it really will. So think about this. So we get Karen, she's dead. Allison and Lori is notified. But we get a little scene, a little flashback with kills and everything. You get, Lori crying and Allison are emotional. And then you kind of go over to like a few blocks over. And you get this kid, which is freaking Corey Cunningham. And he's babysat on Halloween night. And whatever happens with him and the person he's babysitting, maybe he does kill him by accident or just something happens. We don't know about that yet. But they're saying he's killed someone, he's accused of killing someone, right? This is the same night as kills. So this would explain like just, it would just be a great 4-year time jump. So he does it, right before the 4-year time jump, and the police comes and everything. He leaves, or maybe he leaves out in the out of Haddonfield. Like he's in Haddonfield, but he's like hiding out, if that makes sense. Or he can possibly be just out there and they're just bashing him, they're bullying him, and they're trying to say like, you the one who killed him the whole time. It's like they don't have any evidence, so he can't be convicted or anything. So like, you killed him, right? So, and it's like it kind of jumps over to the 4 years later, right? And we get and remember, Nick Castle's his father, so we go over to that, and we get like that scene when Lori has the gun and the copycat opens the door. And I've got screenshots sent to me that someone showed me, like someone circled the newspapers on the back, which I didn't see, which is very interesting. It gives me H2O vibes when they were like having them pinned on the wall, the history and everything. So this might be potentially just what's been going on in Haddonfield after the 4-year time jump. Shit has been being weird. Spotted man, the shape has been spotted. They've never seen him. They're just hearing rumors, we don't know what to believe, like almost like a myth or something like that. We know he's real, but it's like almost like a myth. Follow me, you guys. We're going down this fucking rabbit hole. This is a great theory. Shout out to you guys for bringing this theory to me, man. But yeah, so yeah, the freaking newspapers on the wall, and they were just like showing like a basketball hoop. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was Lori's house. I saw the pumpkin. The pumpkin is just like the pumpkin in '78 when she's holding it with Lindsay and Tommy. And I'm like, man, I saw the medicine and everything. I'm like, this has to be Lori's house. But when I saw the basketball hoop pointed out, and we get to like the freaking paper, the newspapers, it shows me kind of like that's not Lori's house. It could be possibly. Now it's two ways. If it is Corey's house, right, of course it has a basketball, he's obsessed. He's like looking into like Michael's story, because his story is kind of similar in a way. It's like, it's kind of similar, and it's like he's looking into it and everything, and he's trying to figure out a way to prove people like maybe that night that wasn't him. Maybe after Mike, look, you guys, this is explaining a 4-year time jump. Maybe after he kills Karen, Michael leaves from upstairs, goes over to Corey's house somehow. He runs into Corey, being a babysitter, and Michael kills whoever Corey's, dealing with. And it's like he's the boy, that he's innocent. He's trying to prove himself, He's trying to prove himself like I'm not the killer. So think about this, you guys. Now this is when it gets crazy. Michael did it, but Corey's trying to prove himself. So he has these newspapers trying to figure out what Michael did in 1978 and other stuff. He's just figuring out everything Michael has done. He has the newspapers, right? But his dad is Nick Castle, and his dad is like, man, I feel bad. I know my son is innocent. They're saying they haven't seen Michael in 4 years. You're lying. It is you. Michael hasn't been back. We haven't got any killings. We've been been great, including Lori embracing life, like they said in the synopsis. So, look, so they're saying that scene where the door is pushed open, that this is Corey's house. And his dad, the shape, is Nick Castle, and he's dressed like Michael. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is crazy. This is very interesting. And he opens the door, and she's like holding a gun, and he takes the mask off, and it's Nick. But the whole time before this, Nick has been appearing in the streets of Haddonfield. He's been stalking behind the trees and everything. He's been doing it, you know. And that explains why, you guys, listen to me, that POV, when he's going up those stairs, that breathing, it probably is Nick. When you listen to the trailer, you hear that breathing, it can possibly be Nick Castle. I'm gonna tell you guys, it is fucking crazy when you think about it, because it's kind of like a hat tip to 78, and giving us tremendous amount of fan service. Because think about it, we're getting James Courtney and Nick portraying a shape in one film. Like, this will be the best Halloween film, like, when it comes to, like, you know, cast members. You got James Courtney, Laurie Strode, and Nick Castle. Come on, man. But, so, make a long story short, he opens the door, he reveals himself as Nick Castle, but he's been doing this and for, like, the kindness of his heart to protect his son. And he's like, hey, like, I'm doing this for you. I want to show them that Michael's back, and it's possibly him who did it. But it's like Michael's not coming back when they need him. When he actually, after what he did for, you know, to make Corey be, convicted, or, you know, make him be the fucking killer, which he's not. He's innocent. So he's not gonna, like, come on, Michael. They actually want Michael to come back, at least Nick and Corey, because so it can be like, bro, see, he's alive. This is him. He did it. It wasn't me. But he's not coming back. So Nick is getting frustrated. He puts this mask on, and he's going out. He's appearing everywhere. People starting to say, bro, we saw Michael. We seen him. He's back. He's out there. But it's like, it's not like he's killing just yet. He's just out there to keep the legacy alive that Michael's still alive. But this one, the Christine aspect comes in play, and it does make sense. This does make sense that you know, this theory, bro. This theory is amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like it. And like I said, shout out to you guys for bringing me this theory. And it's like he puts the mask on. He takes it off after he's done doing what he's doing. Like, phew, man, like, you know, almost like he's a copycat. So he's not killing just yet. But as he puts that mask on, it's starting. You know that feeling. He's starting to feel like, fuck. Like, he's starting to feel it. He's becoming a monster. You know, he's starting to kind of like blend in with the shape. Is becoming one. They're becoming one. The evilness, and he starts to get this taste to kill. It's like, I'm Michael Myers. That power is overcoming him, like in Christine with Arnie Cunningham. And it's like it's overcoming him, and he's starting to complete kills. And maybe he doesn't even tell Corey that he's killing. Like, Corey does, like, bro, he's like, you know, maybe Nick's like, bro, Michael is really out there. But this whole time it's him killing. And it's like, you know, he kind of gets what's coming to him. And, you know, and this explains why Corey goes in the sewers. Corey might go in the sewers because maybe it can be a lot of things. Maybe Nick tells him, like, you know, like, he's seen Michael near the sewers or something like that, because he really did. And Corey's just like, want to go down there. He's probably dumb, probably think that Michael's like human, like the podcast, like, hey man, you need to come back or some shit like that. Until, I don't know. But either way, I think Corey is going to be curious. He's going to be very curious and going to the sewers. Yeah, I think he's going to be very curious and going to the sewers, and he's going to find out Michael is back. Michael is back, possibly. Now it's like, listen, so that's what I'm thinking right there. But yeah, they're saying that it's Nick Castle. And look, you guys, wouldn't it be crazy if at the end we get Nick versus James Jude? Nick is the copycat, and we get James Jude for a little minute. They're like wrestling, and you know, Michael stabs him. It's like a resurrection type of thing. That would be sick. And even if we get them battling, Nick Castle and Laurie Strode, for like at least 2 minutes, they're just battling just to say they did it. And it's like it will make sense, because it's like, we're sending you guys out the right way. You're going to get James Jude and Laurie battling, and you're going to also get Nick Castle and Laurie. So you're getting best of both worlds. So man, that's a crazy theory. That's a crazy theory. That really is. Now, let me tell you guys my theory. I possibly feel, and I love that theory, Nick Castle possibly being a father. But my theory is this. Basically, I think that in a 4-year time jump, it's going to be like after Laurie dies or whatever. I mean, after Karen dies, they're going to just like the mob and everyone. Because that, when we saw Michael take out the mob, that wasn't the whole mob. It was like probably like not even half of them. I think they're gonna come and rush to the Myers house and everything from the hospital possibly. And they're gonna see like possibly that, you know, Karen's dead. She's dead. And they're like, man, the police don't do anything. You know, that's like that energy they had in the hospital. And you know, David Gordon Green said it was a bulldozer in effect. So I can see a mobster, like, you know, someone from the mob actually getting a bulldozer and tearing down the Myers house, or damaging it like a lot, like at least knocking the top off of it. Like, just, they're tearing it down. And Corey's obsessed. He's obsessed with Michael, and that kind of explains the newspaper thing. They can still be Corey's house, and Corey's still the copycat. That's what I'm saying, and that kind of makes sense, because this theory that this person's done kind of gave my theory answers, where it's like, what if that newspaper, what if he's like trying to complete stuff that Michael's doing? He's obsessed, and he's like, you know, and he gets really obsessed to the point where they tear the house down. He's looking like, well, I know Michael's still out there. They never found a body. They never found a body. And he gets curious, and he sees this sewer. He sees this sewer, and he gets very curious, and he goes in the sewer looking for Michael, just because it's like, so like, it's living like in the middle of the street of the house. And he goes down there, and guess what? And there's probably been rumors out of Haddonfield that Michael's probably in the sewers, like a myth. Like, he's probably just walking the sewers. And he goes down there, and Michael chokes him. And he probably gets to, you know, he gets that scene where Michael, we see, and Michael kills him. And Michael goes up out the sewers. But right before, you got to think, if Corey's the copycat, when he opens the door, Lori probably busts a few shots at him. Corey runs out. He runs out, and, you know, she probably calls Hawkins. The police comes, and, you know, Allison comes. That's why we see that scene where Allison shuts the door. She's crying, and Hawkins is running up. She's like, it was a copycat. It wasn't Michael. Michael doesn't run. And Michael's out, and he's probably get a scene where he's behind a tree, and he's looking, and he sees the police, but he hears, hear Lori, she's talking like, Allison! Like, and he's like, Michael's looking like, but he stands back until the police leave. And like I said, Lori is probably in the, you know, and going back in her house and everything, and, you know, she probably, you know, about to lock the doors and stuff. She looks in the kitchen, she sees Michael, she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just get out. She's thinking it's the copycat, it's Corey Cunningham. Whole time you get a charge and seeing Michael walks at her, and he grabs her, and she's looking at him, and it's like dark. She does the blackest eyes. She's just looking, and that's that scene when he throws her across the counter, and they're just battling, and it's him. She's like, oh, like, it's him. You know what I'm saying? And that can possibly be Corey bringing Michael to Lori. He was the reason. He was so obsessed, and that kind of plays in the Christine thing. He went in the sewers looking for Michael, and Michael wasn't planning on coming back. Probably not just yet, but he came back because Corey kind of like made him kill, and, you know, it's Halloween night, and, you know, I can just see Michael coming out the sewers, and you see trick or treat, you see kids running across the street, that type of thing, you know. And Michael's back. He's back, and when he gets out the sewer, like probably like he's walking the streets, and he sees these police lights, and he sees Lori, and that's what kind of knows, like, Lori's in this house, and he's like almost like 78. He's deciding to choose this house to stalk, this person to stalk. And it could be like 78. That's my theory. You know, it could possibly be something up that line. And it can also be, you know, that Allison is actually cool with Corey. Like, you know, but shout out to the person with that theory, because it kind of gave me answers like, yeah, with the newspaper and the basketball hoop. Because when you think about it, it has to be a boy's room. And, you know, they have the jack-o'-lantern, and it's probably like he's a big fan of Halloween. He has the newspaper and stuff. And, you know, maybe Lori's been doing research, seeing the way, you know, Corey's been doing stuff out in Haddonfield, and he's like, you know, look, he spotted here, but it's no kills, you know, or something. It's something that just shows her that it's not Michael, and she kind of does some research, or maybe she sees him in the car. You know, Lori's always out, you know, riding around. She sees him, but he's like moving weird. Like, she follows him. She follows him one day, and she's like, okay, she doesn't choose to attack that night. But she sees him go in the house, and it was just like some weird, maybe she sees him walking, like, you know, something just alerts her, and she decides to go in the house and figure out what the hell's going on, and that's the time. She's in the house, and she's probably looking through shit. I can see Lori, she's looking through stuff, looking at the newspapers, like, what the fuck? And she hears someone coming up the stairs, and she has the gun ready, and it's Michael, but it's the copycat. You know what I'm saying? It can be something like that, you guys. I know it's a lot. We just went down a little rabbit hole, but that's, you know, that theory kind of put answers in question. I mean, answers to my theory, if that makes sense. So shout out to the person who inbox me that and everything, because that was super cool. That was a fucking wild theory. It would be cool to see Nick in Halloween, and that's the shape, even though even if he's a copycat. But I feel like my theory, you know, with Corey can possibly be also the case. You know, the sewers, maybe Michael doesn't have nowhere to go after they take the house, and he just stays around that area, and then which is in that sewer. So comment down below what you guys think, though. I like Scary Man, about everything we talked about. It got real deep for a minute. I was even thinking like, God damn. But yeah, man, that's bro, that theory with Nick Castle and Corey, that is a wild theory. Like, I think that is mind-blowing if that happens, like, honestly. But yeah, you guys, don't forget to hit me up on my social medias at I Like Scary on Instagram, I Like Scary 77 on TikTok, Brandon on Facebook, I Like Scary on Twitter. And don't forget, you guys, become a member of the Patreon to get exclusive content and benefits. And right there where it says subscribe next week, you can click join and become a member of the channel. Get a nice little cool badge next to your name, you name it, you guys. Don't forget to check out the official I Like Scary merch store. And you guys, watch some horror movies. Stay scary out there. I love you all. Peace.